So Cam Newton recently got into a little, you know what I mean, a little squabble at his 7-on-7 tournament. It was like 1 versus 3, and he won without swinging, which is actually pretty cool. But I got some things to tell you in this video that's gonna make Cam look not so cool. Because from what I'm hearing and what I've seen and things that I've gathered, it was actually his fault that this whole thing started. And let me just say, I am an actual fan of Cam Newton. I think what he does for the community is great. And I think we need more people like him, Deion Sanders, to stick around. And things like this kind of give them a reason not to. But unfortunately, sometimes it's not just like the community going rogue. Sometimes the person that comes back to help is actually at fault, and that's really what this whole situation is. So before we get into it, go ahead and like, you know what I'm saying, comment, subscribe, grab your popcorn, and let's get right to it. All right, now everybody has a part to play in this. I'm not saying it's just Cam's fault. Ego is the word of today, y'all. That's the culprit of this whole situation. A lot of times when it comes to altercations between men, ego really be the main reason why shit is happening. It's either ego or women, or sometimes both. We've all been in that situation as men where, you know what I'm saying, heads collide, pause, and things happen. Two other dudes in the scuffle, Steph and TJ, also used to work with Cam, and they give a little backstory on how they even got to getting into the scuffle in the first place. I have yet to hear from Cam yet. I wish he would speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Because what they had to say made him look really bad. Because I know the first reaction was pretty much like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Cam getting disrespected again, because that is a common theme when it comes to Cam Newton and his football camps. So we need to start showing appreciation to people that give back to the community. Another, black person of influence that could really help the community out. We're giving them more reasons to not come back. You know what I'm saying? Because we just did the same thing to Deion Sanders like a year ago. And here comes Cam. This might be Cam's last showing. And the other thing you pull from it is, like, how stupid could you be as an average side dude to challenge a nigga that's 6'6", 250? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not about to tussle with a nigga that's got 6 inches on me, pause, and an extra, I'm 220, so an extra 30 pounds. It ain't happening. And honestly, there are, some reasonable assumptions there, but that's without you knowing all of the information that I got from this whole situation. And this is why I like to let situations cook a little bit before I make a reaction to it, because a lot more information comes out and there's more to speak about, and you get a bigger picture of what exactly happened. Everybody's first reactions are cool, but you don't have enough information to really give any insight, drop any jewels or anything. Well, I have a clip here, and also with a USA Today article, pretty much explain a little more of how they even got to the point of about the scuffle or getting into the scuffle.
He jumped out the car talking crazy to me again, just what we gonna bet and all this other stuff, and I'm just telling him, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? You always making stuff about money. He's like, I got all the money in the world, and whatever the case may be. And I was like, bro, that's your problem. Money, not everything. You know what I'm saying? And I walked off. So we playing the game. He played, then we playing. He screaming from the top of the stands, just like, oh, I know that play. I made y'all. I'm responsible for everything y'all did. I'm y'all daddy. All this other stuff, like just talking crazy to us. You know what I'm saying? So he might have said something like, I'll come down there and show you what's up. And he got up and came around, and as he was walking down the steps, as he come down the steps, he go to meet him, and as I'm walking, I'm going to like kind of go up there and grab both of them, like grab Cam, just telling like, bro, you tripping, bro. It ain't even that serious, bro. Like, we playing the game right now. It ain't never that serious, bro. We should be able to, you know what I'm saying, talk. I'm walking, that's my intention, is walking up the steps. As I walk up the steps, he grabbed Steph.
Because Steph, you was right there.
Yeah, so
you was listening to the whole thing, so you heard him and you walked up.
So I walked up there. So he kind of, and the biggest thing with me is just like, I feel the way towards our parents, you know what I'm saying, and our kids, just because I should have never like let Cam get in my head. I should have never like let him put me in a position where he felt like he had control over me in a situation because of what I got going on and what I done overcame and came from. But it was just more like, bro, it's just certain things you just not gonna say to me as a man.
Now you see Cam came into camp, you know what I'm saying, this year with his nuts hanging. And honestly, I understand, because the way people be talking about Cam at them camps, I would come in with my chest out a little more than usual too. And people talk crazy to him like he's not an NFL MVP. He went to the Super Bowl, All-Pro. He won a national championship in college, Heisman Trophy winner. His resume speaks for itself, but yet people still disrespect him. So I can understand him coming out there, a little bit with his chest out, especially with the recent things with the whole game manager situation on ESPN. There's been a lot of disrespect towards Cam, so I can see he might come out there with a little more sauce than usual. But I do think these guys are feeling no way because Cam did say some things that crossed the line. And we all know as men there are certain things you just can't do or can't say to one another without some type of physical repercussion or an attempt at physical repercussion. So as you see in there, you know what I'm saying, they were talking about how Cam was saying like, I own y'all, you know, everything that y'all did is because of me, I'm your daddy, this, that, and the third. I don't think that type of language is going to slide with no man, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to lie to you, I don't care how big, how small you are, you say that to me, I'm going to challenge you to something. I salute these gentlemen for the simple fact that, honestly, with you knowing that he's 6'6", 250, I ain't gonna lie, we live in a cowardly age, and a lot of people would have just upped the blicky and not even wanted to get into hand-to-hand combat with Cam. So I want to say salute to that, because I see a lot of people clowning him for, you know what I'm saying, challenging Cam Newton physically, but honestly, like, this could have been a whole lot worse. They could have been cowardly and grabbed a gun, and I mean, Cam Newton could have been no longer, you know what I'm saying? So I want to salute them on that, because they took the L like a man, even though they got swung around like some rag dolls, you know what I'm saying? You know, Cam Newton had one of them doing the helicopter and shit. It was crazy. But I want to say salute to them because, you know, that could have been wrong. And I think we need to start giving props to niggas that's still out here, you know, just throwing hands, because niggas is throwing bullets nowadays. So it's good to see, you know, everybody had their little scuffle. Everybody went home safe to their family. So that's nice to say. They did try to take it to the side. They didn't want to do it on the field and stuff like that. They took it on the side and spoke. But from that, it says that, you know, they tried to speak to Cam, and Cam went straight into, not straight into, but Cam initiated the physical contact. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, they could have just upped the blicky. So I want to salute them for, you know, just throwing hands. But what are you supposed to do in that situation? Because you can't just let Cam just hit you. I mean, you could and get the lawsuit, but, you know, that's not realistic here. I'm not going to let somebody just put their hands on me and try to get a bag. I'm going to try to defend myself, because you're not going to just rag on me around, my kids watching, or, you know, the people I'm supposed to be leading or watching. You're not going to just throw me around like that. And this is the ego part, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of egos colliding and a lot of untalked about feelings. And we do this a lot of times as men, where we don't want to be vulnerable and talk about it. So a lot of times we carry it a different way. We react to people a certain way because of how we feel towards them, instead of just sitting down and actually having the talk. And they didn't want to have a talk until it got to the point to where somebody felt some disrespect and they wanted to take it to another level. This whole thing, I think, could have been solved a little differently had they talked about, you know, the prior history between them two, and really squashed that tension before this whole shit started. But yeah, I mean, this is Cam like, you know what I'm saying, to be talking shit from the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came in there on the shit. So I understand, because if you ever seen the way Cam Newton plays, he's a really braggadocious fella, and ain't nothing wrong with that, because he has the talent to back it up. You know what I'm saying? But there is a line that you can't cross as men without some type of repercussion. You know what I'm saying? And so once again, salute to them for taking that L like a champ. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole thing could have been a whole lot worse, and they could have been cowardly and just, you know, up the piece on them. So, and these type of things happen. It's very unfortunate that it happened in front of the kids. Also in the article, it said that a kid actually jumped in. That's a no-no. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to always keep women and children safe. So, the kids should have never jumped in there. And that's the other thing I did want to talk about is why did we record it? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing could have been, you know, an article, but when you have video attached to it, things get worse. It's a bad look. An article is one thing. When you can have an image of your head of it happening, it tends to stick longer. And I hate that we do this. We record everything. This could have been something behind closed doors, and it could have been left alone. We've seen how sometimes things being on camera can affect things. I think that Jordan Poole punch goes a little different if the whole video doesn't leak across the internet. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with this. I don't think that we would be tackling this as much as we would had this not been on camera, and all the other times that, you know, we've seen people disrespect Cam on the camera, because there's an entire compilation out there now of Cam being disrespected at these camps. So, like, seriously, we got to do better at not filming everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes situations worse. It's almost like being the instigator. You know that one dude, you just gonna take that? It's like that, but when you see a camera, you know, niggas start to act different, and that could really make situations way worse than it actually is. What I hope is not going on, because a lot of people feel like, we should be grateful that, Cam is coming out to help. And although we should, there shouldn't be a situation where he has to carry that in a sense like, oh, y'all should be blessed to be in my presence. Nobody wants to be around arrogance like that. If you're going to do it, if you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you don't need to have this attitude of like, oh, y'all should be grateful that I'm even coming back type of situation. Nobody wants to be around that. Whether that's the truth or not, it's just the arrogance of it all is where an issue can be taken. I'm not saying Cam came out there like that, but the way everybody on the internet is speaking is almost like they feel like he should have came out there with that energy, and that's just not the case. At the end of the day, this was a borderline nigga moment. If you've seen the Boondocks, you know exactly what that is. But yeah, all in all, you know what I'm saying? This is just a moment of ego. It happens amongst men. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, I think the camera made it a worse situation of what it was, but at the end of the day, this is a contact sport. It's football. Tensions rise. It happens. Altercations happen. It was a very ugly sighting, but I think that Cam will come back and still help out the community, and maybe they sit down and talk about it as men, you know what I'm saying, and maybe we get Cam's side of the story. And what if this whole thing is false? I don't know, but we have yet to see. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your boy RayQuan. I'm out.